Height is always a noticeable advantage on screen, but is it the deciding factor in becoming a Hollywood legend? In today's video, we'll meet actors with striking statures, each leaving a mark through their demeanor, talent, and unforgettable roles. Some became icons of cowboy movies. Others won over audiences with their distinct voices or deep acting abilities. Let's see how many faces you recognize. And don't forget to leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe to our channel to join us on this journey. In many classic Hollywood films, George Kennedy wasn't usually the first person seen, or the one with the most lines. However, every time he stepped into the frame, the audience's attention almost immediately shifted toward him. Standing about 6'4", his weathered face and steady demeanor made him an ideal choice for experienced characters, ranging from military officers and police to experts in challenging situations. Kennedy's success was built on persistence rather than overnight fame. Cool Hand Luke earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, while The Dirty Dozen and the Airport film series further solidified his place in American cinema. What set George Kennedy apart was his ability to make every role feel authentic. He didn't need over-the-top performances to make an impression. His very calmness and reliability gave weight to each character. Some actors only need to stand still to exude elegance, and John Gavin was one of them. Standing around 6'4", with a signature sophisticated style, he quickly became the leading man prototype that many Hollywood studios sought in the late 1950s. His polished image and confident aura made Gavin particularly suited for romantic, historical, and dramatic stories. Audiences still remember John Gavin from Psycho, Spartacus, and Imitation of Life films that showcased his ability to adapt to various character types. Following a successful run on screen, he opened a new chapter by entering the diplomatic field and becoming the U.S. ambassador to Mexico. Few Hollywood actors have had as diverse a career as Gavin, which is why his name is still mentioned as an icon of classic gentlemanly style. While many stars made their mark with memorable lines, Howard Keel won over audiences with his powerful singing voice. Standing about 6'4" with a confident demeanor, he always stood out during the golden age of Hollywood musicals. Every time he appeared on stage or screen, Keel brought a powerful energy that made musical numbers come alive and captivated the audience. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, Showboat, and Kiss Me Kate are some of his most defining works. Howard Keel didn't just sing well, he knew how to blend acting movement and expression to tell a character's story. It was the fusion of his vocals, height, and performance ability that helped him become one of the most iconic faces of the Hollywood musical genre in the 20th century. Instead of building an image as a physically strong hero, Vincent Price chose a completely different path. His 6'4" height, slender frame, and distinctively deep voice created a unique style that audiences could recognize after just a few lines. That's why he became one of the long-standing faces of Hollywood's horror and mystery genres. Through House of Wax, The Fly, and The Pit and the Pendulum, Vincent Price proved that tension doesn't necessarily have to come from action scenes. He built emotion through the rhythm of his dialogue, his gaze, and his ability to control the atmosphere in every scene. This refined acting style helped Price become an icon of classic horror cinema while inspiring many generations of actors to follow. Sterling Hayden brought an image to the screen that was entirely different from stars built with a polished style. Standing 6'4" with a rugged face and powerful build, he was especially suited for film noir crime dramas and stories about characters living outside the norm. In The Asphalt Jungle, Johnny Guitar, The Killing, and The Godfather, Hayden often portrayed quiet, unpredictable men carrying many internal contradictions. His height gave him an air of authority, but it was his raw and authentic acting that made him memorable to audiences. Of the 5 figures we just featured who had the most impressive screen presence for you, share your choice in the comments. Hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next stories about Hollywood's unique legends. Just a glimpse of that slow gait, broad shoulders, and familiar cowboy hat was enough for audiences to recognize John Wayne before he even spoke. Standing about 6'4", he possessed a stature perfectly suited for the vast expanses of the American West. In Stagecoach and The Searchers, that physique helped Wayne project a sense of stability, as if his character belonged to the very harsh land depicted on screen. However, the factor behind John Wayne's lasting influence wasn't just his height. He built his characters with a deep voice, deliberate pacing, and a confident delivery. By true grit, that style continued to help him portray a tough man who still had a touch of humor and relatability. Over many decades, John Wayne became the definitive image of the Western genre, where presence is sometimes just as important as the dialogue. Among stars who often try to appear perfect, Jeff Goldblum creates appeal through his uniqueness. His height of nearly 6'4" makes it easy for him to stand out in a scene, but it's his hesitant speech patterns, curious gaze, and unpredictable reactions that create his signature style. In Jurassic Park, he turned Ian Malcolm into a character who was both brilliant and funny, while always remaining wary of things beyond control. The Fly showed a completely different side as Goldblum led his character through complex emotional changes. In Independence Day, he brought a natural charm to a large-scale story. Whether in sci-fi, action, or comedy, Jeff Goldblum rarely acts according to a familiar formula. He uses his height to establish a presence, then uses his verbal rhythm and personal charisma to keep the audience's attention. Without needing to walk too fast or raise his voice, Liam Neeson can make a scene feel more serious the moment he appears. Standing about 6'4" with a mature face and a deep voice, he has an air of reliability that is especially suited for characters carrying heavy responsibilities. In Schindler's List, that advantage wasn't used to show off power, but helped the character create a clear presence in a deeply profound story. When he transitioned to the action genre with Taken, Neeson continued to exploit a calm but decisive demeanor. The Gray placed him in a harsh environment where mental strength was just as vital as physical prowess. A consistent thread in Liam Neeson's acting is the ability to convey thoughts through small details. A pause, a look, or a drop in his voice is enough to let the audience know what the character is weighing before taking action. Jason Momoa didn't enter Hollywood with the image of a polished leading man in the traditional sense. His long hair, 6'4" frame, and free-spirited energy give him a highly recognizable appearance. His role as Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones made clear use of Momoa's physical advantages, but the actor also used his eyes, posture, and body language to build a character with weight, even without much dialogue. Aquaman opened up a different image as Momoa combined strength with humor and a free spirit. Instead of portraying the character as a distant king, he made him feel more down-to-earth fun and relatable. Through these roles, Jason Momoa showed that while height can create an initial impression, it's personality that truly sets a star apart. His natural style has helped him find his own place among the modern generation of action actors. Ben Affleck is known not just as an actor, but for his work as a screenwriter and director. Standing about 6'4", he has a physique suited for both everyday dramatic roles and superhero figures. In Good Will Hunting, Affleck showed sincerity and relatability, while Argo showcased his storytelling control as both lead actor and director. Appearing as Batman, his height and somber demeanor helped him build a mature, thoughtful version of the character that felt weathered by experience. Ben Affleck's career shows that appearance is just a starting point, while storytelling ability is what helps an artist maintain influence. Of the 5 stars just mentioned, who had the most impressive screen presence for you? Leave the name of that character and your favorite film in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep exploring Hollywood's unique faces in our upcoming videos. In the entertainment films of the 1980s, Donald Gibb often appeared as an energy hard to ignore. His 6'4" height and burly frame made him a great fit for characters with a strong appearance. However, rather than just building a tough image, Gibb often added humor and a carefree nature to his roles. This was clearly seen in Bloodsport, where he played fighter Ray Jackson with a lively personality and standout team spirit. Revenge of the Nerds brought Donald Gibb wider recognition as Ogre, a character who initially seemed intimidating but gradually revealed more interesting facets. His ability to create an atmosphere without taking a role too seriously set him apart from many actors with similar physiques. His stature provided the first impression, but it was his natural charm that helped Donald Gibb be remembered by audiences for years. Damien Poitier built his career on roles requiring athleticism, endurance, and a clear presence on camera. Standing nearly 6'5", he has a distinct advantage in action, sci-fi, and fantasy projects. His balanced physique allows Poitier to easily blend into large-scale cinematic worlds, where characters sometimes need to make an impression just through posture movement or a few brief moments on screen. A notable milestone was his appearance as Thanos in the end scene of 2012's The Avengers, before the character was developed further in later films. Poitier also appeared in Captain America: Civil War and various other television projects. Though usually not center stage, he shows that supporting roles can still play a vital part in creating the atmosphere and scale of a story. His professionalism and adaptability have helped him maintain a steady career in Hollywood. The Green Mile is a clear example of how David Morse creates appeal without trying to overshadow his co-stars. As Correctional Officer Brutus Howell, he brought a calm, kind, and reliable feel that matched his 6'4" height and mature demeanor. Morse is often chosen for characters who are weathered, responsible, or facing difficult decisions. His stern face provides stability, while his understated acting style gives the character consistent depth. From Contact and The Rock to Disturbia, David Morse has continuously shifted character tones while maintaining authenticity. He can be a reliable colleague in one piece and then an unpredictable character in another. Morse's strength lies in his gaze, verbal rhythm, and ability to use silences at the right time. His height makes him physically stand out, but it's his unassuming acting that has made him one of American cinema's most reliable character actors. It isn't easy to pin John Lithgow down to a single image. In Third Rock from the Sun, he showcased high-energy comedic talent, but in The Crown, he transformed into Winston Churchill with a completely different demeanor. Standing about 6'4", Lithgow creates a powerful presence, but his ability to change his voice gestures and acting rhythm is what makes each of his characters distinct. John Lithgow's career spans stage, film, and television. He has played charming comedic roles, affectionate fathers, and psychologically complex characters in Dexter and The World According to Garp. Instead of letting his stature dictate his roles, Lithgow uses it as part of his character transformation. His versatility, constant spirit of reinvention, and solid acting foundation have helped him maintain appeal across many generations of audiences. Adam Baldwin is often associated with tough, decisive characters who have a strong sense of responsibility. Standing about 6'4" with a powerful demeanor, he is especially suited for roles as military personnel, agents, or key members of a team. Full Metal Jacket and Firefly are defining works in his career. Instead of chasing a flashy image, Baldwin built his name with a direct and steady acting style. He brings a sense of reliability to action scenes while maintaining a unique touch for each character. Did you first know Adam Baldwin from Full Metal Jacket, Firefly, or another work? Share the name of that movie in the comments and let us know which character you want to see in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep discovering Hollywood's prominent faces. From the early years of his career, Rupert Everett drew attention for his sophisticated looks and 6'4" height. His confident aura and British gentleman style made him a great fit for various roles in dramas, romantic comedies, and historical films. International audiences know Everett from My Best Friend's Wedding, An Ideal Husband, and The Madness of King George, where he always brought a poised yet captivating image. What has allowed Rupert Everett to maintain influence for decades is not just his striking appearance, but his ability to transform before the lens. He can shift seamlessly between humorous, subtle characters and roles with deep emotional weight while keeping a very distinct demeanor. His height makes him stand out in every frame, while his acting skill is what has made him one of the memorable faces of British and Hollywood cinema. Hailing from Croatia before stepping into Hollywood, Goran Višnjić quickly made a mark with his strong looks and 6'4" height. A major turning point in his career came when he took on the role of Dr. Luka Kovac in the TV series ER, a character beloved for being calm, dedicated, and compassionate. Beyond television, Višnjić has also appeared in numerous international films and action projects. Instead of building an overly gritty image, Goran Višnjić often chooses characters with depth and emotion. His warm voice, mature demeanor, and tall frame help him create a sense of trust in every role. The combination of his striking appearance and natural acting has helped Višnjić maintain a steady position in the entertainment industry for many years. Boris Kodjoe is one of the actors with the most striking appearances in Hollywood, standing about 6'4" with a captivating demeanor. Before pursuing acting, he worked as a model, which contributed to his confidence every time he stepped before a camera. Audiences know Kodjoe from Brown Sugar, Soul Food Station 19, and many other television and film projects. Though often cast in sophisticated or strong roles, Boris Kodjoe doesn't let his looks overshadow his acting ability. He builds characters with calmness, natural expressions, and the ability to connect with co-stars. His height makes Kodjoe stand out in every frame, but his professionalism and steady acting style are the foundation that has kept him relevant in the industry over the years. Billy Campbell built his career along a path quite different from many of his peers. With a 6'4" height and sophisticated demeanor, he fits many genres, from adventure and sci-fi to drama. Audiences have met Campbell in The Rocketeer, Once and Again, The Killing, and Cardinal, where he always brings a poised and convincing image. Notably, Billy Campbell didn't chase the image of an action star despite his physical advantages. Instead, he focused on building characters with depth and individual personality, making each role leave a distinct mark. On today's list, which tall actor would you like us to feature next? Leave their name in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to follow our upcoming Hollywood faces. Before becoming a familiar face in American film and television, Josh Duhamel worked as a model. His 6'4" height, masculine face, and confident demeanor helped him quickly fit the image of a modern leading man. His first breakthrough came from the series Las Vegas, where Duhamel played a character who was both sophisticated and capable of handling tense situations. Later, the Transformers film series brought his name to a vast international audience. Not limiting himself to a single genre, Duhamel also appeared in romantic works like Safe Haven, Life as We Know It, and various TV projects. His tall frame gives him a sense of stability in military or protector roles, but his approachable acting is especially suited for family stories. Thanks to his ability to switch between action comedy and romance, Josh Duhamel has built a steady career rather than relying solely on physical advantages. Jason Segel doesn't go for the image of a perfect leading man, according to Hollywood's usual formula. Standing 6'4", but with a relaxed and everyday demeanor, he often creates laughter through sincerity rather than over-the-top performances. His role as Marshall Erickson in How I Met Your Mother made Segel one of the most beloved comedic faces on television. This character won hearts through his warm, funny personality and his deep appreciation for friendship. In the film world, Jason Segel continued to prove his screenwriting and acting skills through Forgetting Sarah Marshall, The Muppets, and many other romantic comedies. His notable height is sometimes used for comedic situations, but his true strength lies in blending laughter with genuine emotion. Segel can make the audience laugh in one scene and then naturally convey the vulnerability or growth of a character in the next. As the action genre hit its stride in the late 1980s, Steven Seagal created a distinction with a calm and understated fighting style. Standing 6'4" with martial arts experience, he didn't need to move too fast or show off much to build the image of a character who wouldn't back down. Above the Law, Hard to Kill, and Under Siege were defining works that made him a prominent face of action cinema during that era. Unlike many stars in the same genre, Seagal often portrayed characters with a stern gaze, a soft voice, and controlled movements. This approach created a unique mark, even though his film style received varying reviews over different periods. In your opinion, what makes an action star truly memorable? Physique, skill, or screen presence? Leave your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more interesting conversations in future videos. For Lou Ferrigno, the opportunity to enter the acting world came from his own extraordinary athletic journey. Before becoming a TV star, Ferrigno was known in the bodybuilding world for his 6'5" height and outstanding strength. Those advantages helped him get cast as the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk series starting in the late 1970s. When visual technology wasn't as advanced as it is today, Ferrigno's real-life physique played a crucial role in bringing the comic book character to the screen. Though the Hulk role didn't have much dialogue, Ferrigno still conveyed emotion through his eyes, facial expressions, and body movements. He helped the character not only look powerful, but also show the loneliness and human personality hidden behind. Following that success, Ferrigno continued to participate in many film and TV projects and appeared in guest roles in Marvel works. His image remains associated with a memorable era of the superhero genre. A deep voice, a warm smile, and a height of nearly 6'5" created a rare combination in Michael Clarke Duncan. Before getting a big role, he worked various jobs and appeared in small parts in Hollywood. His career-changing opportunity came when Duncan transformed into John Coffey in The Green Mile. That emotionally charged performance earned him an Oscar nomination and proved that a powerful exterior can go hand in hand with gentleness, kindness, and inner depth. After The Green Mile, Duncan appeared in Armageddon, The Whole Nine Yards, Daredevil, and many works across various genres. Hollywood often used his frame for characters with physical power, but it was his sincere acting that made audiences truly love him. Duncan had the ability to make a seemingly frightening character feel approachable just through his voice and expression. That's why he is still remembered as an actor with a special presence on screen. With just one major role, Gunnar Hansen left a lasting mark on cinematic history. The Iceland-born actor raised in the U.S. stood about 6'4" and was cast as Leatherface in 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Since the character's face was mostly hidden, Hansen had to use his gait, breathing, and entire body movement to convey personality. He even studied how different people moved to create a distinct figure. Following the film's success, Hansen didn't pursue the path of a commercial star, instead spending much of his time writing books, journalism, and personal projects. He occasionally returned to the screen, but the Leatherface role remains the most famous part of his career. Gunnar Hansen's case shows that height and body language can create a powerful impact, even when an actor uses almost no dialogue or facial expression. Before becoming a familiar face in film, Woody Strode made a name for himself in sports, with a background in track and field and football. Standing about 6'4" with a lean build and calm demeanor, he was particularly suited for westerns, historical films, and action movies. However, his strong appearance wasn't the only thing that made Strode stand out. He had the ability to hold attention through his gaze and posture, even in scenes with very little dialogue. In Spartacus, Strode made a mark as the gladiator Dreba, while Sergeant Rutledge gave him the chance to portray a character with more depth. He also appeared in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Professionals, and the memorable opening of Once Upon a Time in the West. Woody Strode didn't need to be at the center of every story. His dignified presence and ability to convey power in an understated way were enough to make him a special face of classic Hollywood. Succeeding a character once synonymous with Johnny Weissmuller was no small feat, but Lex Barker found a way to build a Tarzan with his own style. Standing 6'4" inches with an athletic build and sophisticated look, he was chosen as the 10th actor to play the jungle hero. 1949's Tarzan's Magic Fountain began a 5-film run that brought him wide international recognition. When opportunities in Hollywood began to narrow, Lex Barker pivoted to European cinema and unexpectedly found a new career chapter. His role as Old Shatterhand in the Karl May adaptations made him one of the most beloved stars in Germany. Barker also appeared in Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita, showing his image wasn't just limited to adventure films. From Tarzan to Old Shatterhand, his height and gentlemanly demeanor helped Lex Barker create two very different screen icons. Few actors could bring the experience of a stunt professional into every movement as clearly as Jock Mahoney. Before becoming a leading man, he performed stunts for Errol Flynn, Gregory Peck, and John Wayne. Standing about 6'4" inches with great physical fitness and riding skills, Mahoney was quickly noticed in the Western genre. His breakthrough came when he was cast in the lead of the TV series The Range Rider in the early 1950s. Mahoney's path then led him to the very Tarzan role he had previously lost to Lex Barker. He took on the character in Tarzan Goes to India and Tarzan's 3 Challenges, performing many of his own stunts. What makes Jock Mahoney memorable is not that he tried to look strong, but his agility and precision in movement. On screen, he always had the air of someone who truly understood how to ride fight and adapt to harsh settings. A stern face, light hair, and a 6'4" height brought Philip Carey a series of roles as soldiers, police officers, and cowboys in the 1950s. He appeared in films like Calamity Jane, Mr. Roberts, and The Long Gray Line, often playing straightforward, reliable characters. His background serving in the Marine Corps also helped Carey portray uniformed roles with a natural and steady demeanor. However, Philip Carey's longest-running role came from television. Starting in 1979, he became Asa Buchanan on One Life to Live and maintained that powerful businessman persona for nearly 3 decades. Carey showed that a tall actor isn't necessarily only for action films. His experience and voice could also create appeal in long-running family dramas. Do you know Philip Carey from film or TV? Leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more in this series. Willard Parker came to the screen through a rather unusual journey. Before becoming an actor, he worked as a meter reader and then played professional tennis. His bright looks, athletic agility, and 6'4" height put him on Hollywood's radar. After some small roles and time on Broadway, he signed with Columbia Pictures, where the image of an adventurous leading man began to take shape. Parker appeared in The Fighting Guardsman Calamity Jane and Sam Bass Apache Drums and The Great Jesse James Raid. These films weren't always the studio's biggest projects, but they helped him become a familiar face in B-westerns. Willard Parker's strength lay in his balance. He was tall enough to feel powerful but kept a polished air suited for a classic hero. This allowed him to step from swashbucklers to westerns without losing his personal style. For many viewers, the image of Jared Padalecki is almost synonymous with long journeys in the Impala on Supernatural. Standing 6'4" with a striking frame, he gave Sam Winchester a powerful yet accessible look. Previously, Padalecki was known from Gilmore Girls, where he showed a younger and gentler style. The transition between the two images shows that his height didn't limit how he built a character. Throughout 15 seasons of Supernatural, Padalecki had to express many states, from humor between brothers to times when Sam carried a heavy burden. After the series ended, he took the lead in Walker, exploring a more mature figure. Jared Padalecki's advantage is not just his physique, but his ability to create a sense of closeness. Whether the character is facing supernatural events or everyday struggles, he maintains a sincerity that helps the audience empathize. Alexander Skarsgård doesn't take the safe path despite having all the looks of a traditional action star. Standing 6'4" with an angular face and cool demeanor, he could easily stick to a familiar role type. Instead, Skarsgård constantly seeks out different characters. Eric Northman in True Blood brought him to the public's attention, while Generation Kill showed his ability to play a military character in a restrained and realistic way. From Big Little Lies to The Northman, Skarsgård is willing to change both his physique and expression to fit the story. Sometimes he uses his height to create a sense of dominance, but other times he deliberately shrinks his presence to highlight a character's internal conflicts. It is this spirit of constant experimentation that has allowed him to work in both commercial films and art house projects. For Alexander Skarsgård, looks open doors, but bold role choices define a career. At about 6'7", Miguel Ángel Fuentes is almost impossible to miss in a crowd. The Mexican actor has a large frame, a strong face, and a demeanor suited for warrior or protector characters. He is known to international audiences through The Puma Man, Fitzcarraldo, and The Mexican. Each work places Fuentes in a different context, but all effectively use his ability to make an impression the moment he appears. Fuentes isn't a face that frequently takes lead roles, yet he understands how to make supporting parts carry weight. In Fitzcarraldo, his frame fit the vast adventure setting. In The Puma Man, he brought a sense of authority as a guide. Miguel Ángel Fuentes' career shows that screen time isn't the only measure of impact. Sometimes a stance, a look, or a specific voice is enough to make the audience remember a character long after the movie ends. Every actor in today's list has proven that while height can help create a first impression, it is the acting and demeanor that decide a long-lasting career. Some become icons of an entire genre, while others win over audiences with emotionally rich roles. In your opinion, who used their physical advantage most effectively? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep exploring interesting stories about Hollywood.